Let's start with Man City 1, Liverpool 1. Do you think it's fair to say that this game was a symptom of 12:30
after an
international break? Thank you, BT or Sky or whoever.
No, actually, to be fair, blame the police for this.
Okay, was it the cops?
Well, Sky wanted it as the 5. Sky would have wanted it as the Sunday 4:30, I'm sure.
Yeah,
but because City are playing the Champions League tomorrow, they obviously were going to have it as a Saturday 5:30. The police wouldn't have the game on any later than I think 3:30. They were saying, obviously because of the blackout, you can't screen it during that time, so there was no choice.
Right.
To show it was either put the game on at 12:30 or don't show the game at all.
Right.
So unfortunately, that's what we got. Could we just bin the 12:30? Do you think? I hate it. When Tottenham have a 12:30, I was like, oh, fuck off. That's generally what I think. Doesn't matter whether at home or away. I just think, sod the 12:30.
We haven't had one in a while. If we do, yeah. I'm with you.
Because you play at 2:00 every Sunday.
Every Sunday, except this week where we didn't. We played at 3:00.
That's true.
We played at actually 4:40 this week.
4:40. Oh, it's when you started playing, was it? Yeah. I think it was a bit later, maybe.
I mean, what are we taking away from this? Like,
well, the big thing is what I've just said. And to be fair, although he's a gift, obviously that does make Liverpool weaker defensively.
Yeah.
If Alisson's not in goal, because he's one of the best shot stoppers around. Although you could maybe have a little question mark on him in terms of Haaland's goal. He probably still had it in his mind about obviously the clearance, which looked like a brilliant breakaway chance for Liverpool. Obviously, unusually, his distribution lets him down. Aki slaloms past a couple of poor attempted tackles, and Haaland's first touches. Great. Look at Haaland's goal Saturday and Ollie Watkins' goal yesterday. A little less in terms of first touch out your body. Whereas Nunes had one in the first half and it's like too many touches and stuff. He's so much better off the cuff, isn't he? But he still had his involvements. I still think he'd be a good get. There'll be people looking at getting Nunes this week. People like me are probably going without Salah. Know the risk that's obviously coming. I think the draw was probably about right. It wasn't the City-Liverpool classic that we'd expect. I think it was also, I was reflecting watching the game thinking that perhaps in hindsight, because of the madness of what City had at Chelsea in the game before the international break, that maybe it shouldn't surprise us that it was more dour. I don't want to say dour, it's unfair, because still top-level football, but perhaps not the City-Liverpool thriller that we've become accustomed to. Unfortunately, it's a very, very good result for Liverpool. I think what's key for them as well is they haven't really played any of the big teams yet at home. Doesn't feel like I don't think they have played anyone at home yet near the top.
No.
And yet, if they get themselves in a position where they can win the league, you fancy them at Anfield against anybody, right?
Yeah. Always home tie with Liverpool back on.
A lot of the big away games are already out the way, right? You've still got to go to the Emirates, for example, but a lot of the and Old Trafford, but a lot of the big away games are out the way. And if Liverpool can get their consistency right, they'll win games at Anfield. So I think they're in a really, really good position. And to be honest, so is City, right? You know that City will pick up their head of steam when they get into the new year, and for them to be around it is fine at the moment, considering the consistency of Arsenal, Liverpool, and to be fair, we have to put Aston Villa in the conversation at the moment as well. So not a disaster for both teams. I think on Haaland, captain for me this week coming up. There's no
home fixture and against Spurs. Like I look at the 3 City. Alvarez, Haaland, Foden that I have. You're on 2, right?
Haaland, Alvarez, yeah.
Yeah, and Spurs at home, I think as good as you were for the first half an hour or whatever yesterday, still it's at their place, and you can be good for half an hour. They'll kick the crap out of you for the second 60 minutes after that. Luton and Palace after that. I might make the transfer off Foden all the way up because it's difficult to move him on with Spurs at home. I want to keep him. He played well yesterday.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to...
Saturday.
I wouldn't want to bin any City offensive assets against Tottenham. So there's no confliction for me on, oh my God, you're captain the player against your own team. No, I think I know the inevitable outcome of this. And whatever the outcome is, because by the way, we will go to Manchester City and try and beat them. Whether people think that's silly or not, it's fine. That's what we're going to try and do. And that probably leads to one thing. What is an absolute certainty is he will have chances. That is a certainty. There is no way that football game happens on Sunday and Erling Haaland doesn't have chances. And the chances are with him that he'll take them, right? So there's no debate for me on Capsy this week, although I think there are a number of good alternatives. Salah against Fulham, Boomer against Luton, the Arsenal players at home to Wolves, Watkins at Bournemouth. Like, there's more good alternatives this coming week than what there was this week. That you'd have wanted the better alternatives in the week just gone, I think, rather than this one coming up. And so again, therefore, I think Haaland, Salah, whatever you're on is obviously take your pick, but it'll be Haaland for me. On Alvarez, there was obviously the news 2 minutes before deadline that he wasn't in the team, was the news that broke. Now, it was too late for me to act upon it, and I think it was too late for many others to act upon it. But obviously, he did play. Jack Grealish was sick. But in terms of Alvarez, we should consider, I think the information is correct. I think the intention was that Alvarez wasn't going to play.
Yeah, I mean, he's come back from overseas.
So there could
arrest.
be that. There could be that it's down to the travel, but there could also be I wanted to play Foden at 10, Grealish left, Doku right. Might have been the idea, right? And therefore it might be something that comes round again. If I was to make that Keller move this week, I could therefore go Alvarez to Nunes -4. But I don't think I'd do that. I don't think I'd do that. But does Alvarez play Tottenham, Villa, and then Luton? Questionable, I would say. So it's something I need to monitor, but I think he would play against Tottenham.